So this week I started looking at the Howcast video, how to do an Italian accent, and that is currently on my research tab on my WordPress. Um, as I started looking at it, there are some things I can do and some things I can't do. For instance, the lady in the video, she recommended that for people to have the Italian sound on one's tongue, you'd have to start trilling your R's. I can't trill my R's, so what I do instead is I tap my tongue on my upper lip. Not my upper lip, on my upper gum ridge, where behind my teeth. So it sounds like Gonzalo instead of the trilling. So how would I say it? So like, not respect me, like something like that. It's not as strong. It doesn't sound as strong, but it's the only thing I'm able to do. So yeah, I've practiced a couple of times with that over my first few days. I also looked at more of the lines so I can see if I can memorize more of them off by heart. I've got the majority of Act 2, Scene 1 off book. So I feel like the more confident I get with my lines, the more I can play my character freely. So my mind isn't focused on remembering lines, it's focused on trying to get into my character's head and figuring out what he would do and why he would do it and what his objectives would be. We've also had to find someone new for Prospero, and because Fifi has been unable to do rehearsals and she's unable to do future ones as well, and people are starting to look at Harry Doolin. And I think that'd be interesting because he's got a passion for acting, especially Shakespeare, and I think he'd be very good at that role. He's got a very powerful voice and good posture, and I think those traits suit that of Prospero. But we also need to find someone to replace Alonso, the character he was, and that might be difficult. But yeah, I'm not sure for now. But anyway, continuing on with my character Sebastian, we've been told that we'll soon get other props. So like in terms of what our characters can have, like such as swords, maybe swords. Yeah. Other than that, I know I need to look more into my character. I need to practice more my accent. I need to get off script as soon as I can, especially on that scene, because that's the only one we've been doing so far. And also, I need to be more confident, I'd say, with the shipwreck scene, because even though we're on a ship that's shaking around from the storm, my eye line needs to be towards the audience so they can see my fear instead of me just looking on the floor, which I tend to do, especially in my past shows. But in this case, it's because I'm more afraid of tripping over or falling over. And if I do, that's okay, because it would look convincing. I don't have to just stumble around on stage as if I'm trying to keep my balance. I could fall, I could roll, I could just adapt to it and just go with the flow and see what happens. The aerials have made some new movement at the beginning of the shipwreck scene. Just before they drag us or mentally manipulate us on stage. I'll put the link to that video below. Other than that, I'd say my strengths this week was my eyeline during the scene with the aristocracies. Unlike the shipwreck, I was able to make sure my face and my front was facing the audience. I never turned my back. The first half of the scene I'm able to do easily, but it's just the last half where Alonso and Gonzalo fall under the aerial spell and I fall asleep. That bit, from there on, that's where I'm struggling, and that's where I need to learn more of my lines. But yeah, other than that, that's it for week 2.